Good evening, friends, and welcome to our flipped lesson for fractions. Will be an introductory and a small practice before we do our whole group lesson tomorrow. So let's get into it. So what are fractions? So what should you be learning about over this next week? Well, we are going to be focusing on the Tennessee State Standard, recognize and use different interpretations of fractions. So what should you be able to say that you can do? You can say, I can explain that a fraction is part of a whole. So parts of a whole thing. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit more. A fraction is a number that represents equal parts of a whole or equal parts of a set. So if we see this circle right here is divided into 8 parts, we know that because the bottom number is 8, and then the blue part, one piece shaded. So 1 out of 8 pieces, or 1/8. Then this shows 1 piece out of 2 pieces is red, so 1/2 is red. And then 1 piece out of 6 pieces is green, so 1/6. So what does those two numbers represent, or what are their special names? So that top number, the 3, is the numerator. The numerator is the number above the bar in a fraction. It tells how many equal parts of the whole have been chosen. So if we look at the example here on the right, we see that 3 pieces are red, or 3 pieces have been chosen out of the bottom number, which is 4. The bottom number is the denominator, is the number below the bar in a fraction. It tells how many total number of equal parts. So if we see here on this rectangle, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts is what it's been divided into. So let's see if we can tell what part of the area the region is shaded by using fractions. So the shaded part is what fraction of the area of the entire rectangle. So how many pieces are shaded? Well, to me, I see 1 piece is shaded blue, and then out of how many pieces total? Well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see what their solution says. So the solution says the rectangle is divided into 4 equal parts, like I showed you, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of the parts is shaded. So that means that the shaded part is 1/4, or 1 out of 4 pieces of the entire area of the rectangle is shaded. So with fractions, all parts of the whole must be equal sizes. So they have to be the same size. They can't be too big and then this size. They have to be exactly the same amount. So if you look at the first example here, all 4 of these parts are the same size, as you can see around here in this square. So this model shows 1 out of 4 pieces is shaded. Now these 4 parts are not equal, not in the same size. So this model does not show 1/4. So here are some examples of parts of a whole. So this first one shows 2/3 of the circle is shaded. So we have 1, 2 pieces out of 3 pieces total is shaded. Now if we're thinking about the second one here, I see 1 piece is shaded, and how many pieces do I see total? Well, 1, 2. So let's see what this one says. So it says 1 out of 2 pieces, or 1/2 of the square is shaded. So let's see, what fraction can we come up with this one for parts of a whole? Well, I'm going to count how many parts we have total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 parts total. And how many parts do I see that are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm thinking 5 out of the 6 pieces is shaded. So maybe 5/6. Let's see if my answer is right. Yes, 5/6 of the rectangle is shaded. All right, so fractions part of a whole. Which model shows 3/4 shaded? Remember, they all have to be equal parts. So think to yourself, would it be A, would it be B, would it be C, or would it be D? Think about that for a second. I will tell you that the correct response is B. Now, think to yourself for a minute, why wouldn't the answer be C? And be ready to give me an answer to that question when we meet in class tomorrow. So fraction is part of a whole. So for this one, how many pieces do we see shaded? I see 1 piece shaded. Out of how many pieces total? Which would be 2. So here, that would show 1/2. Now for this one, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces are shaded out of 6 pieces total. So that fraction shows 5/6. All right, so here are some practice problems for 1 through 3. Write the fraction that the counters are shaded. So I want you to come to class tomorrow with these 3 answers. I'll give you a hint for number 1. You're going to count how many counters we have total. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 counters. Then how many are shaded? That'll be your numerator, and the number of counters total is your denominator. Okay? So I want to say thanks for listening. Your OLS connection for our lesson today is Unit 10, Lessons 1 and 2 in your online school in Math Purple. And your Study Island connection is 3.14 Math Pathways Lesson B for fractions. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in class tomorrow. Bye, everyone.